In the previous video, we had only two rows in the reduced flow table. So we assigned the state variables directly because there can't be any races in a two-row flow table. But when the flow table has more than two rows, we have to assign variables in such a way that only one variable changes during a state transition. That is, we have to do adjacent assignments to states between which transition occur. So these can be done in two methods, shared row method and multiple row method. Let's quickly take an example. So we have a 3-row flow table. So it requires at least two binary variables. So the first step is to obtain the transition diagram. So I mark all these states and then I denote all the transition using arrows. So say the circuit is in the stable state A, there's a transition from A to B and A to C. So I denote these transitions using arrows. And similarly, by doing for all these transitions, I obtain the transition diagram. Next, I try to assign state variables to these states. So if I assign 0, 0, 0, 1 and 1, 1, I can see that the transition between A and C involves the change of two variables. Even if I assign C as 1, 0, the transition between B and C will involve the change of two variables. So it is impossible to make all these states adjacent using only three states. This can be solved by introducing another row to the flow table. So I've introduced a row D, and all the transition from A to C will go through D. So there is a transition from A to C, so this is replaced with D, and for the current state D, the next state will be C. So we direct the circuit through a cycle. So here we have a transition from C to A, so this will be replaced by D. For the current state D, the next state will be A. So we direct the circuit through a cycle. Let's take another example. So here we have a 4-row flow table. So we have the transition diagram, and from this diagram I can see that we have diagonal transitions. So if I try to assign the states using two binary variables 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1 and 1, 0, we can see that the transition between A and C and B and D involves the change of two variables. So when there are diagonal transitions, we can't satisfy all the adjacencies using only two binary variables. So we use shared row method. So for this, I take a 3-variable K-map and I mark all these original states A, B, C, D. So there's the transition between A and B, but these two are adjacent, so no problem. And there is a transition from A to D, but these two are not adjacent. So I add an extra state E so that the transition from A to D goes through E. So this is sorted. So for the transition from C to A, we can see that these two are not adjacent. So I add another state, extra state G, so that the circuit goes through G. Similarly, I do for all the other transitions. So we have the updated transition diagram. So the A is 0, 0, 0 and B is 0, 0, 1, and using this I have to form the flow table. To fill the flow table, I see the transition diagram. So the transition from A to D goes through E. So in the original flow table, here is the transition from A to D. I replace this D with state E, and for state E, the next state will be D. We direct this through a cycle. And for transition from C to A, which goes through G, so here there's the transition from C to A in the third row. So the A will be replaced with G, and for G, the next state will be A. Similarly, I fill all other transitions. Let's try to solve the same example using multiple row method. So here each stable state will have two combination of binary state variables. So say state A has two sets A1 and A2. So if A1 is 0 0 0, A2 will be 1 1 1. That is, A2 should be the logical complement of A1. So A1 is 0 0 0, A2 is 1 1 1. B1 is 0 0 1 and B2 is its logical complement 1 1 0. So obtain this map like this. To obtain the extended flow table, each row of the original table will be replaced by two rows. So A will be replaced with A1 and A2, and similarly I obtain this extended table. First I fill all the stable states, and to fill the unstable states I have to choose the next state such that uh, they are adjacent. So here the transition from A to D, so we can see that A1 and D2 are adjacent, A1 and D1 are adjacent, and A2 and D2 are adjacent. So here the next state will be D1 and here the next state will be D2, and in the second row of the original table, so there's a transition from B to D. B and D2 are adjacent, B1 and D2 are adjacent, and B2 and D1 are adjacent. So here the next state will be D2 for B1 and the next state for B2 will be D1. In this manner I fill all the cells. So this method is much easier, but it is not as efficient as the shared row method. So this can be used for any 4-row flow table. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching.